have to go.
You have to go.
I have to go. Okay. Yes.
It's a choice.
It is a choice.
It's a choice.
Oh. Cool. Awesome. Sweet.
First Thursday.
Bro.
Hello and welcome to Curtain Call.
No.
Hello, my people.
Okay.
Hello, subjects, and welcome to Curtain Call and Coffee. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kayla. And yeah. I'm Kayla.
Yeah, you are.
Today we are talking about books. Books that we've read since the start of this year. So I have my physical in my possession. I own these books here, plus my Kindle. And you have...
I have my physical I own in my possession books here.
Yay! Who wants to go first? Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
Okay, I'm going first.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna start with... Actually, I have my phone because I have a list of all the things. I know.
This is not... That's not one of those.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about an app that I use. Can I talk? Yeah. Okay. So I track how much I'm reading on an app called Bookly. You probably can't even see that. Bookly. I think it's really it's good because I start a reading timer and it tracks how long I'm reading, and then it tracks how many pages I'm reading per hour, and this is not sponsored. I wish it was, but it's not sponsored. And then I could also add characters, quotes, and I could ask for definitions and those kind of things, which I think is really, really cool. Yeah, the first two books that I started reading, the first one was Frankenstein.
Because I assume.
What?
For school, I assume.
Yes, because I took a classic literature class last semester, and we read Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus, and I read it on my laptop via
e-text.
And had to annotate it. That book took me 10 hours to read. And 5 minutes. It's crazy. Okay, well, I had to annotate it while I was doing it, you doofus. I have 3 quotes that I got from the book. This one was on the e-text on page 153. Quote, "You live and my power is complete. Follow me. I seek the everlasting ices of the north, where you feel the misery of cold and frost, to which I am emissive. Yeah. You will find near this place, if you follow not tardily, a dead hare. Eat and be refreshed. Come on, my enemy. We have yet to wrestle for our lives, but many hard and miserable hours must you endure until that period shall arrive." And that was the creature speaking to Frankenstein.
Yes.
Because if you don't know, okay, in the actual in the actual text of Frankenstein is the creator of the creature or the monster, and he created
Frankenstein's monster.
So if you don't know that, now you do. A lot of people think that Frankenstein is the monster and not the creator of the monster.
Yeah, a lot of people believe that the monster is Frankenstein because it's a huge focus in the book. But Dr. Victor Frankenstein created his monster
Yes.
as an experiment while he was in...
No, he was mad. He had gone mad.
Yeah.
He was studying medicine, and he had gone mad, and he like saw a big motif in Frankenstein is light.
Yeah.
That's something we talked about a lot in class. Is that light is a big like point in Frankenstein. He like saw a lightning strike a dead tree, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, so beautiful!" And then he kind of like went from there. He like grew mad, and then he was like, "I'm gonna basically grave rob all of these corpses and take their parts and build my monster." And Frankenstein, and then he was like, "It's alive," and he got scared and he ran away, and then the monster kind of wandered into like the outskirts of a village and was watching this family, and then the creature kept like bringing them firewood and all of that kind of stuff, and like basically helping to take care of this family. And one of the and he had learned to talk from this family, and this is all in like somewhere in Europe. This is all set in Europe.
Yeah. And it's like dead of winter.
Yeah, it's dead of winter. It's cold. And he gets through like winter and spring, parts of spring. But he's like he's taking care of this family, helping to take care of them without them knowing and learning their language. And so eventually he enters the house and he meets with the father, I believe, who is blind. And he's like, "Oh, I can't like just like go up to them and talk to," because he was like, "I want to like I know this family, but and they like don't really know me, but I've been helping them a lot and whatnot." And the father, the person he was talking to, I don't remember if it was the father exactly, was like, "You should just go and like talk to them, and like I'm sure they'll understand." But little did he know that he was actually that family. He was part of that family, and then they like were scared of him because they were like, "What is this thing that's like
7 feet
7 foot tall, half decomposing thing?" And they were scared of him and basically like ran him out of the like town. And so he was wandering in the woods and whatnot, and he was like reading because he found like books and stuff, and he was like immersing himself with all of this like literature, and he was like, "This is amazing," kind of thing. And he really wanted somebody to share it with, but he knew that all people were afraid of him. So he went back to Victor Frankenstein, and he was like, "You need to build me a mate. You need to like make me a mate and whatnot." And initially he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." But then he was like, "I don't actually know what this person's capable of." I think I'm mixing up the order of events.
Yeah.
But he like kills Victor's younger brother. And then it ends up that his soon-to-be wife was like, or one of his family friends was like confessed to the murder, but deep inside Victor knew it was the creature. And so they basically were just like, it was like a battle of wills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like Jekyll and Hyde.
Which is crazy because that's my next one.
I'm so good at segueing.
I'm
so good at segueing.
My next one was Jekyll and Hyde.
I love that book.
I have a couple more quotes, but I don't really need to read all of them.
2 years ago? I read that 2 years ago.
Yeah, I read Jekyll and Hyde in 3 hours and 30 minutes because it's 141 pages. But I listened
That's pretty short.
It's like different accounts of people, and I don't really remember this one as much because I listened to it through the audiobook. You read a different version of it than I did.
That makes sense. I'm just confused about how it's different recounts of people.
Well, it's like it's told through like a handful of different eyes, like 2 or 3 people, because it's like the outside view from the detective, and then you also have
Jekyll's perspective
and Hyde's perspective. So it's like just a handful of different like perspectives.
That's the book I read.
Okay, cool.
Like multiple It's just Jacqueline. It's Jacqueline Hyde's
It's,
POV.
I
At the
mean,
beginning, you
different
have
accounts.
at the beginning you have the detective, and then somewhat in the middle you have the detective after the murder.
You also have like I think like one more other person's.
Well,
Point
no,
of view.
because it's the detective talking to this lady that
Yes.
witnessed it.
Yes, I'm talking like you also get her POV
Yeah.
retold from the detective's POV.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got
Glad we're on the same page.
I'm surprised I remember it this much. I read it 2
But
years ago.
I listened to an audiobook because I was already behind in reading for one of my other classes. And so I was like, I needed to just get through the audiobook, so I listened to an audiobook for 3 hours and 30 minutes. What? What?
Keep going. I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
Keep going.
I didn't really save any quotes. Out of the 3 I read for this class I took, Jekyll and Hyde was my least favorite, which really surprised me because I love the Jekyll and Hyde spin in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, it's Jekyll and Hyde. It's like hit or miss depending on the version you read.
Yeah, I loved ABC's Once Upon a Time retelling of Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes.
A lot more than I liked this one by Robert Louis Stevenson.
And
I'll be honest.
Well, obviously, Once Upon a Time is like a spin-off.
It is a spin-off.
It's
a spin on a bunch of different tales. But I liked the way that in the Once Upon a Time version, he was actually able to split himself.
Yeah.
That I thought was really, really cool, but that's also like the magical aspect of it, and this is more of a
this is
science fiction. So, but I still enjoyed it. All in all, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's a great book. I think reading it before seeing because I read it on my own lonesome in like 8th grade before I went through and watched Once Upon a Time. Reading it before watching that, I understood that them splitting wasn't like in the story.
Yeah. And I knew that wasn't going to be in the story. I knew not everything was going to be in the story. Yeah. I just I enjoyed that twist in Once Upon a Time, but overall I enjoyed The Strange Case of Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes.
So let me see what I rated it. Wait, I should see what I rated Frankenstein. I rated The Strange Case of Jekyll and Hyde 3 out of 5 stars, and I rated Frankenstein also 3 out of 5 stars because I got really tired of reading late at night because I forgot that I had to read before class the next day.
Girl. No, because me too.
Okay, I've done 2, so you gotta do some. Okay.
We're gonna, since you're talking about books you read for class, I'll talk about books I read from class. For class. So
I still have 4 more books that I've read for class this year.
Just this year. I have 1. I have 1. But I'm gonna talk about the 2 we read last year, because it was in the school year.
It was in the same class.
It was in the same class because AP
because like high school is like that.
High school would be like that. So the first book we read in AP Lit was Their Eyes Were Watching God. And so it's about this girl named Jamie. And it's, I don't remember what it's called, but it starts with like the end of the story and then it goes back to the beginning.
So it was like a recount backward through time?
Well, so it starts.
Is it like a flash forward and then go flashback?
So it starts at the beginning, and then Janie is sitting on her porch with one of her friends, and she tells the entire story of her life.
Okay.
On this porch.
Okay, and then it leads back to the porch.
And then it leads back to the porch at the end. I don't remember what it's called. You couldn't pay me to look at my AP Lit notes to figure it out. So she is married to like she gets married to like 3 different people, and then one of them's abusive, one of them's just weird, one of them like becomes mayor of this town and ignores her, and like a huge like symbolism element in it is trees. Like different kinds of trees mean different stages in Janie's life. And then she gets with this guy named Tea Cake towards the end of the book.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah.
I love it.
He goes by Tea Cake.
That's awesome.
So she gets with this guy named Tea Cake, and they run away, and then there's a hurricane, and he gets rabies, and she has to kill him. She shoots her husband.
That's really sad.
And then she goes back home, and then the story starts over. So it's like a loop. And then basically, I don't remember anything about that. Because that was a year ago.
Yeah.
And then the second book we read was...
Wait, what would you rate that book that you just... What was it again?
Their Eyes Were Watching God.
By?
I don't remember.
That's okay. I'll put it in the description.
I couldn't really get into it. It was like... I was reading it for class, obviously.
Yeah, it's hard to get into stuff that you're reading for class.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, oh, I want to take this class because we're going to read this stuff, which is kind of why I wanted to take the class for...
This is why I'm taking dystopian literature.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I really couldn't get into it. I liked the story. I liked the story that was in it, but I just couldn't get into it. And so, like, I barely remember anything about it because I wasn't enjoying my reading experience because I was like, I have to read this amount of pages before class, which starts in 20 minutes because I had it right after lunch and I didn't read. So I was just zooming through and then I was marking stuff during my lunch period. And I would go to class and she was like, Matt, bleep that. My teacher was like, you're doing great. And then I got into a car accident. And then I wasn't doing great second semester.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to not overwork myself like I was doing first semester because I was
you were
cut
healing
apart and healing. So
both physically and mentally.
Yeah, so I wasn't as good as second semester, and that's okay.
Boo.
The second book we read. Well, let's backtrack a little bit. We didn't just start reading this book. We started with a short story.
Yeah.
And it was about the Salem witch trials, which was funny because the play was about the Salem witch trials.
Basically the crucible.
And so I'm reading the story in AP Lit about the Salem witch trials while I'm also preparing my audition to be in a show about the Salem witch trials. And then every time at the end of class when we were talking about it, I would be like, don't forget to come see the play.
No, it's about this kind of stuff right here.
Stuff right here. It's fun. That was literally promotional. And then the second book we read was As I Lay Dying. I think you've read it.
Nope.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so As I Lay Dying is about this lady who is on her deathbed, and her dying wish is for her son to build her a coffin. So she's in this bed by a window watching her son build her coffin.
That's creepy as
Yeah. And basically they're all crazy. So they put her...
Yeah, of course they're all crazy, bro.
So he builds her coffin, and then he brings it into the house. They put her in the coffin, but they put her in upside down. So you know how the regular coffin shape, your head goes towards the short side? Yeah. They put her head at the bottom and where the long...
Yeah, where your legs are supposed to go? Yeah.
Yeah, because she was wearing a big dress. She was wearing her wedding dress.
The whole point of the shape of the coffin is because it's your shoulders.
Yes. Exactly.
Was it wide enough for her shoulders?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know that she was in the coffin the wrong way.
Okay.
And so he's really upset because the coffin's off balance or some BS. And then they're trying to take her body to be buried in the graveyard that she requested to be buried in. And every bridge, because they live in the middle of nowhere on a farm, and there's a bunch of rivers surrounding their farm to get to the town that she wants to be buried in. And every bridge is broken or shut down for some other reason. And then eventually they're in the river at some point, and her coffin is just floating down the river.
With her in it?
With her in it, yeah. And by the time they get to town, her body's like decomposing. And then there's this character named Darl, and he is clairvoyance, so he knows everything that's going on.
What is going on?
So you get the story from a bunch of different perspectives, and when you're in Darl's perspective, it's like third person omniscient, where everything is known, like thought, like
okay,
like everything is known except for people's thoughts. So he knows everything that's going on. And his younger sister decides to have intercourse with this fellow because he
wait, we can't just go past that. Decides to have intercourse with this fellow. Whoa, that is a line right there.
Okay, I didn't want to say freaky.
Decided to have intercourse with this
I'm talking about AP Lit.
I'm sorry, continue.
I had to like think about this when I was talking about this book in class. I was like, they have sexual intercourse. I couldn't say they get freaky. They go to Pound Town, USA. Population them.
If you would have said that out loud in class, I think you would have laughed.
Yeah, probably. But I didn't want Miss Miss like impression of me to be like the guy that says they went to Pound Town, USA. Population them. Because like that's weird.
No, it would have been awesome. I probably would have actually.
Okay. Anyway, so she's pregnant, and Darl knows because he's clairvoyant. And it's like this whole thing, and then Darl is sent to a mental hospital at the end because he's like going insane.
I would be too.
Exactly. The story was like written when it was written. Someone was high.
Yeah, like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. So it was good. I rated it like a 3.6. I liked the book. It's really hard to explain because everything that's going on is like bang, 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 bang.
Nice.
And it's not in order.
Nice.
Nothing's in order.
Well, it's my turn now because you've done 2 books. We're just going to alternate between 2 books every time. How about that? Does that sound good?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Are you done though?
I think so.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure. So the next book that I was supposed to read Dracula.
Did you not read Dracula, Kayla?
No, I didn't. And then I wrote my final paper on Dracula, and I got a B in the class.
Oh my god.
Because I know, like, basically, like, the whole, like, concept of Dracula. It's also, like, it's something that I've, like, looked into before. So it wasn't a new concept to me. And I wrote about, like, sexism. Because you have to, like, you had to write about a certain novel that we had read in the class, and then you also had to write, you had to write about, like, a concept of something, and I was like, sexism. And I was really, really proud of my paper that I wrote in the 5 hours before it was due.
That's crazy.
Gotta be.
I could never.
Yeah, and it was 7 pages. A research paper. So yeah, that was fun. I did the research beforehand, I will tell you that. And then another book, hold on, I'm trying to find the one. Okay, so, and then I actually read The Meadow by James Galvin for another one of my classes. It was for my literature and environment class.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 7-hour read because I'm a slow reader because I'm dyslexic. But The Meadow doesn't have like a straight storyline. It's like, because it's written by a poet.
Mm-hmm. I love poetry. Sorry.
I know, it's written by a poet, but it's just like his memories and the memories of what's the guy's name? Of Ray and Lyle. Who lived, it's like just a little north of It's like on the border of Wyoming and Colorado. It's like really, really close to here. It's not far from where we are. And it's just about this like beautiful meadow that he grew up in, and that James Galvin grew up in, and that because he was the next door neighbor to Lyle, and where Lyle and his brother Ray and his sister Clara grew up. That's where they grew up, was in this like open meadow area. And he really talks about Lyle because Lyle was there the longest in his life. Because Lyle was alive longer, and he was just like he just enjoyed life. He was just kind of enjoyed like every morning just watching the birds and all of that kind of stuff. And he liked to like make things. Like, okay, here's actually a good one. And this was a account from Lyle. Up close, those swallow are the funniest damn things you ever saw. They fly like angels, and then up close, they look like little clowns. The damnedest thing. That quote made me laugh, and I was like, yes. But there was just so many like good quotes, and it was like really inspirational, and it was just like, oh, I wish I could just go outside in my own backyard and just like see open landscape for miles around. And it was like it was just a bunch. Go read it. Like, definitely go read it. I recommend it. I gave it like 4 stars.
Okay.
Loved that book.
Time out. I'm gonna tell the authors of the books that I read. So, As I Lay Dying was written by William Faulkner, and it was published in 1930. And then I need to switch to the other tab. Their Eyes Were Watching God was written by Zora Hurston and published in 1937.
Nice.
Bing, bang, boom.
And I did physically read The Meadow, but I borrowed it from the library.
I think reading a physical book is so much more like
you could like feel the story. It grounds you in the story.
Yeah, it like grounds you in the story, and it also helps you to connect with the characters more because you're like physically reading something, and it's like if you were to read someone's diary, you would connect with them. So if you're reading a physical book,
yeah,
it feels like you're connecting with them.
Also, like reading online, like on an ebook, it's like the light, like it hurts your eyes like after a while reading.
Yeah,
it hurts your eyes. So, and then the book after that for the same literature class was Refuge by Terry Tempest Williams. 5 stars.
Oh,
whole 5 stars.
You said Refuge, and I was like, refugee is not right refugee, there.
Not refugee. Refuge.
I'm looking at
Refuge by Terry Tempest Williams. It's on. I read it on my Kindle. It is like it focuses on it's a memoir. It's a memoir also by a poet. She does poetry, and then she's also a bird. She's like a bird conservationist.
So she uses bird symbolism a lot.
Yes. So every single chapter was with the bird's name, and then it's set in Salt Lake, Utah.
Salt Lake City?
No, Salt Lake County-ish.
Oh, Salt Lake
County. Like close to Salt Lake. Like the lake. The actual lake.
I'm gonna need to look up a map. You continue.
Okay. So that's where her family lives, and it really talks about her mom and her grandmother with terminal illnesses, and how like difficult that is for a family to like watch all of that stuff happen. And like basically watch a family member disintegrate before your eyes.
The Great Salt Lake in Utah.
Yes, the Great
Salt Lake.
I
understand it now.
In Utah. Yeah.
I understand.
But it's like it talks a lot about birds and like the changes that the lake is going through because the lake is like continuously rising. which isn't good for all of the like wildlife surrounding the lake. And it gave you like what the lake, for each of the stories, it gave you like what the lake's level was. But it talks about her mother having cancer and her grandmother having cancer and having like terminal cancer, and watching her mother and her family struggle, and then her grandmother struggle with the diseases and whatnot. And it was like, it hit way too close to home. Because of
right.
Because of our grandfather who recently passed away because of a terminal illness. So
dementia. He had dementia and it progressed to Alzheimer's.
Yes. They usually coincide a lot of the times. But it was like it was very close to home. I sobbed. I sobbed in quite a few chapters where I was like, yeah, I know how that feels. I'm right there with you, girl. But it was very moving, and I felt seen because I have experienced something similar. And it was really like, I loved that book. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, so the next book I read...
Oh, and it took me 12 hours to read.
The next and last book I read in AP Lit was King Leir by William Shakespeare. That's the only one I remember because it's a play. It's the only one I remember awesome. Who it's by.
That's awesome.
It's a play.
That's awesome.
So it's King Leir by William Shakespeare, and it's about this king, and at the beginning of the book, you get him talking to his 3 daughters and asking them to prove their love for him. And his 2 oldest daughters come up with some BS. Some big steaming bullshit. Like,
can you get that clean? Some big steaming bullshit.
Some big steaming bullshit. And so they're lying right out of their ass crack. You're gonna have to believe a lot of it.
That's okay.
They're lying right out of their ass crack, and they're acting like the sun shines out of their dad's ass, and they have a vitamin D deficiency. Okay, they're majorly kissing ass.
Oh my god!
They're majorly kissing
That is the craziest line I have ever heard.
That is a line from Red, White, and Royal Blue, the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're lying to him about how much they love him, and then his youngest daughter is like, I love you as my father, but I also have to love my husband. So like, girl boss go, yes, you're right. And he decides not to give any of the kingdom to his youngest daughter and banishes her from the kingdom because he doesn't have all of her love. So it's a problem.
Misogyny at its finest.
Exactly. And so the kingdom is split in half for the 2 older sisters. And basically the king is supposed to go back and forth and live with one of his eldest daughters for 1 month and then go to the other one and go back and forth. Because he divided the kingdom for them because he wanted to retire, basically, from being king. Because he had...
Why couldn't he just pick one of them?
Because he had dementia and he was going crazy.
Oh.
So he was just going crazy. He had some mental illness and it made him like insane.
Okay.
And so as the story goes on, he's not at either of his eldest daughter's houses because they don't want him there. Because they actually hate him. And his youngest daughter is the only one that actually loves him.
Yeah.
Right. Which he banished from the kingdom to marry the King of France. So, yeah. And at the end of the book, everyone dies because it's a Shakespearean tragedy, except for like 4 people, because it's a Shakespearean tragedy.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it was really good.
Did you read like some of the original texts, or was it like a more modernized text?
It was the original text, and then at the bottom, at the end of a scene, you would get like at
like
the
a
bottom
blurb
page
explaining what happened.
No, it would just have like definitions of different words.
Oh, okay.
So it was the original
So you still had to like decipher what he was saying. Okay. That's good because
I love talking in old English.
It frustrates me so much when like you're given a text but it's a modernized version of it. Mm-hmm. Like if you're given a Shakespearean text and they are modernizing it, no, you're not giving them a Shakespearean text. You're giving them a modern Shakespeare text. Yeah. And you have to differentiate that with your students because you're like your students could be like, oh my god, this is actually so easy. I should read Shakespeare more often. When in reality, it's a difficult read.
Yeah, Shakespeare's always a difficult read.
It's a difficult read even for scholars. It's going to be a difficult read. It's going to be a little bit harder to understand. And that's the fun of Shakespeare is you have to figure it out for yourself because what you think that he is saying.
Yeah, because everything is a metaphor in Shakespeare. True genius.
I took a whole Shakespeare class. Can you tell?
At work, yeah. Like everything is a metaphor for something either going on in his life at the time that like the public didn't know about or that kind of stuff.
And the sonnets?
Yes.
We're gonna have a whole Shakespeare episode. Trust.
I have read 2 Shakespeare plays. Hamlet and King Lear.
Hamlet's right there.
I have read that's Hamlet. And I've read King Lear.
I've watched The Taming of the Shrew. And I've watched like the English Shakespearean troupe. It's like a troupe of theater people that just do Shakespeare. That's all they do. I've watched Taming of the Shrew. I've watched two comedies. One of them was Taming of the Shrew, and the other one was because Taming of the Shrew. So
words.
She's the Man is a parody of Taming of the Shrew.
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
Oh.
That's the wrong one. No.
Okay, moving on.
No. It's the guy. It's the 10 Things I Hate About You is a parody of Taming of the Shrew.
Okay. Moving on.
And then I've also read the one that She's the Man is the parody of.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the title of the play. And then we also watched King Henry III, I think.
King Henry III?
Yes, he has a play. He has several plays of King Henry. I think it's the third.
Oh, okay.
And then we did do a bunch of stuff on Macbeth, which I love. That's one of my favorite plays. Is Macbeth.
Anyway, moving on. So I rate King Lear like a 4.2 out of 5. 4.2 stars. So that's all the books I read for class. So now we're gonna get into my regular books while you're still going on about it.
I only have one more for class, so can we do that first and then
I guess
do our personal ones? The last one that I read for class so far this year, because I'm gonna have more novels to read for classes, was Trashlands by Allison Stein. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you something.
Trashlands is a dystopian. We love dystopian. I need to recommend this to your dystopian lit teacher. Yes, I need to recommend this to her.
What is it?
This got to be in her Trashlands.
Trashlands. Okay.
So it's set way, way, way in the future, where there's no such thing as internet.
I would shoot myself.
There's no such thing as internet because there was a big flood. There's a really, really big flood.
Okay.
There's no such thing as internet. Cars don't even run. You have to walk everywhere. And plastic is...
That would suck in America. To walk everywhere? Because each state is like the size of a country in Europe.
Yeah, but you don't have to, like, you don't gotta worry about that because guess what? Plastic is currency. Plastic is currency. There's no such thing as money. Okay, and it's the world that it's set in is like literally a trashlands. There's trash everywhere. You have to dig through the main character Coral is a plucker, which is like someone who goes to the river and is like picking plastic out of the river to make money. That's literally what she does. And she's just picking basically like, "Oh, look, that's something that can get me something. It's just a piece of plastic." That's her money. That's the currency.
That's crazy.
Okay, well, the main like group of characters is Mr. Fall, who is like Coral's father, who kind of like adopted her because he found her. Who has a rainbow bus, a bus that's painted like a rainbow.
So
Okay,
he's gay.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Oh, okay.
He's just an old man.
He could be a gay old man.
But he's not gay. There's no gay characters in this book.
Okay, so the homophobia.
No, that's the main concern. The main criticism of this book is that we are literally like killing our planet. That's literally the main criticism.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Okay,
I got that. I got the message when you said it's covered in trash.
Yeah,
I understood.
But Trashlands is a nightclub. Is like a nightclub where girls will dance on stage. There's no music. In this world, there's no music.
So they're just dancing in silence.
No, there's one song, and they just keep hitting play on this one song. 24/7. That's all. The only song they hear 24/7 is this one song. Yeah, I would die. I'd shoot myself.
I'd figure out how to make music, bro.
Yeah, but they don't have time to make music because guess what? They're too busy trying to work to survive, to literally survive. Okay, and one of the dancers, Foxglove, she's a redhead and she's like tattooed everywhere. And Coral's like partner does all the tattoos.
Uh-huh.
But Coral also has a son, which he got kidnapped when he was a kid. And he had to work at the factory. The factory is where like kids, literally children, had to work and like pick like the smaller pieces of plastic to make bricks out of plastic. That's how they built buildings. Was out of plastic bricks. They melted it down.
They're using their currency as building materials.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it was like a trading thing. It was like a trade kind of thing. But they pick the small, like the really tiny pieces of plastic out of stuff that can't be used to trade for anything, and they'd make it into bricks. Does that make sense now?
Yes.
You need to read it. It's so good. It's so good.
I'm so pissed.
I'm recommending it. I'm recommending it to.
It ends like how I'm gonna kill
Anyway. It was really good, and I also have to cut out half of me talking about that because I just revealed the ending, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Okay, we're going back to.
Yay! Now we're going. Hold on. Okay, now we're going into our reading for our own personal enjoyment. Reading for pleasure. So, you want to go first?
Yeah. So the first book I read this year was May the Best Man Win. It is about a trans man who is the captain of the cheerleading team and the captain of the football team. They're both running for homecoming king, and so basically they're just sabotaging each other left and right because they are exes. Because they broke up when the main character started transitioning. Or like after they had transitioned. So that's what happened. And basically the captain of the football team finds out he's gay and that he's still in love with this person.
Oh, that's cute.
Because I'm horrible at names. Jeremy. So Jeremy is the trans man, and the captain of the football team, I remember Lucas. Jeremy and Lucas. I read this in January. Leave me alone. So Jeremy is the trans man, and then Lucas is the captain of the football team. So Jeremy has always acted very boyish, manly, And that's what Lucas loved about Jeremy before, and he just thought that he was straight because it was pre-transition for Jeremy when they like fell in love and started dating, and they dated most of high school, and then senior year came around, and Jeremy came out and transitioned over the summer, and yada yada yada. And they're running for homecoming king. And
don't spoil it.
I can't really say more than that because I'll spoil it.
That sounds really cute though.
It is very cute. I liked it a lot. I would say like 4.5 stars.
For you.
For me.
Yes.
And then the next book, we're putting this there. The next book I read, or book series technically I read, is A Tale of Magic series. It's about this girl.
How many books are there in that series? Just 3?
It's a trilogy.
Oh, it's just a trilogy.
So it's A Tale of Magic, A Tale of Witchcraft, and A Tale of Sorcery.
I have a question.
What?
Was the first one gifted to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I have,
because like the different spines are irritating.
I have a paperback copy
of the first
book because I bought the
in a set.
But one of my friends is borrowing it.
Okay.
MJ is borrowing it.
Okay.
And that is not her legal name, so we can leave that
It's by Chris Colfer.
Yes.
He wrote it's somewhere over there on that shelf.
The shelf?
Yeah, the Land of Stories.
The Land of Stories, yes.
I have that. I got it. I was supposed to give it back, but I forgot, and then she moved away.
It's okay. So, A Tale of Magic is about this girl named Bristol Everdeen, and magic is outlawed in this so there's 4 kingdoms. There's north, south, east, and west.
Oh.
And
so that's just directions, actually.
Yes.
I'm joking.
That is just directions. But that's where the kingdoms are. And then they're between the north and the north and the east kingdom. Yeah. The north and the east kingdom, there's like these woods that are riddled with magical creatures that are outlawed. They were not allowed to come in the kingdom, so they're trapped in these woods.
That's stupid.
Yeah. So magic is outlawed. And Bristol Everdeen's dad is part of the like legal system, like the government in the kingdom that they live in. And Bristol finds out that she has magical powers. Because and it's outlawed for girls to read.
I hate it already. I'd rather die.
Yeah. So she is secretly reading.
Not me too.
Obviously. She's secretly reading. She got a job at the library to like clean, but clean at night. And at night, instead of cleaning for like the first half of the night, she's reading, and then the second half of the night she cleans.
Okay.
And then while she's cleaning one day, she stumbles upon this like weird secret passageway in the library, where like all of the magic related books are hidden in this library. Because this is like the main library.
This is gonna get good. Okay.
It's like the main library of the entire kingdom.
Don't spoil anything.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. It's the main library of the like entire kingdom because they live in the North Kingdom, I believe. So it's the main library of the kingdom. So all of the books reside in that library.
Okay.
Unless they're like legal books, then they're in the courthouse.
Okay.
So there's a secret passageway to where all of these magic books are kept. And then when she opens one and reads a single, just one word, like magic flowers start blooming all over the walls. And then she closes the book and they disappear. And then she closes the book because she hears someone coming, which is strange because nobody's supposed to be in the library but her at night. So she closes the book and everything disappears. And then the guards, like the royal guards, walk in and like arrest her.
You should probably stop there.
No. There's so much more to this book.
But that's like a cliffhanger.
Yes, but
okay, let the listener be like, oh, I want to know what's gonna happen.
Okay, but there's a little bit more that I can share before it's like.
Leave it on a cliffhanger.
I'm going to leave it on a cliffhanger.
Okay, go.
So There is this witch named Madame Weatherberry. And she...
not Madame Morrible?
No, Madame Weatherberry.
That's funny that it's Madame Weatherberry because Madame Morrible controls the weather.
Madame Weatherberry controls the weather. It's so
they're the same person.
Kind of. So in the series, every witch or wizard has like a special talent that they're like good at. So like Madame Weatherberry is good at weather magic, and then there's other characters who are good at different stuff.
Okay.
So their magic presents itself in a different way for each person, but still like you
Harry
can do
Potter.
Yeah. So.
Are you so proud?
So Madame.
I made a Harry Potter reference.
Yes, I did. I'm very proud. So, at the beginning, you get the prologue. And Madame Weatherberry is talking to the king about starting a magic school, and she needs students for it. Because there's this evil witch in the south that's running amok, and she's like freezing the southern kingdom. And so she needs like people to help because
to fight back.
Only like people with magic are going to be able to stop her. So she's asking the king of the north to, my directions might be
to change
backwards.
That's okay.
So she's talking to this king and she's like, I need students, and then he's like, I will give you the next person that we arrest for using magic. And then Bristol is arrested for using magic, and then the story kicks off from there.
Okay.
Bing, bang, boom.
That sounds good.
It's really good.
I might borrow those after I read Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And my series I'm reading right now. Okay, so let's see. Let's go with the first one I read for pleasure so far this year, which was... I'm gonna also do 3 books of a series. So this first one... So this is marked. This is a House of Night series. There is... I should have looked this up. The series I am reading currently is marked. Is the House of Night series. The first book being marked. The series is about Zoe Redbird. It's a vampire series, I gotta say it now. It's like Twilight meets Harry Potter because they go to a school. It's not like you're a wizard, Harry. It's like, boom, you're a vampire.
You have to go to school now.
You have to go to school. You have to go to a different school now.
Okay, great.
So the House of Night is the school. That's what the school is the House of Night.
Right.
And so it opens with the book, it opens with Zoe being marked, and you have, when you're marked by a tracker is what it's called, you get like a crescent moon on your forehead. So like everybody knows you're a vampire if you have a crescent moon on your forehead, and it's just the outline of a crescent moon. Well, she's like, she panics, and her parents, her step loser of a dad, who's not actually who's like, she doesn't even consider her dad, that's why she calls him her step loser, is like this religious, he works in a church, and he's low-key just a asshole. And then her mom just follows him, which is really sad. And the closest family member that she's actually close to is her grandmother Redbird. And she has a lavender farm. And she is, yes, this is all set in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Just so you know. And she is Cherokee. She has, her grandmother is Cherokee. Okay. So in point, Zoe is Cherokee. So they have all these like Cherokee beliefs and customs.
Right.
And like traditions that they do. Right. Well, Zoe, one of the things is, if you are, after you're marked, if you're not close enough with a adult vamp, you could die. Because basically you're going through the change into becoming a adult vampire.
Yeah. This is why I hate vampire books.
Will you shut up?
Just to point out.
Will you just shut up?
Don't. I'm opinionating.
Please, no, I don't want your opinion.
Well, if you like it, that's good for you.
Oh, yeah, I enjoy it.
I'm just saying I probably wouldn't like it as much as you would.
Okay, but she's going through the change. She needed to be at the house tonight probably a couple hours before she went to go see her grandma. Well, she can't find her grandma. She goes out into the farm and she trips and hits her head. Well,
No.
she hits her head and she's bleeding. And she has this dream where she meets the goddess of night, Nyx. Okay, and Nyx is talking to her about something, and she's like, I have chosen you for a purpose. You must fulfill your purpose, Zoe Redbird. Okay, even though her real name is Zoe Montgomery at this point in time. And so she makes it to the House of Night because her grandma finds her and then brings her to the House of Night. And then Neferet, the high priestess, who is the principal, is one of her affinities, because it's also you have magic. You gain these affinities as gifts from the goddess Nyx.
Right.
Okay. Is healing. So that's her affinity, is healing. And so she helps heal Zoe, and then Zoe meets her roommate, Stevie Ray, who is a country bumpkin as used in the books. She's a countrified bumpkin. She has a thick oaky accent, and she loves
what does an oaky accent sound like? Just southern?
Really southern.
Okay. Good to know. Gathering in.
Oklahoma southern.
Oh, okay.
And Stevie Ray's friend group, Damien, the gay guy in the book, which is funny because Damien's also the gay guy in Mean Girls. Yes. Damien, Aaron, and Shahani.
Damien must just get gay.
And they just they take her in. Well, there's this chick that she saw on her way to the dorm.
Like this chick.
We don't like this chick.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, Aphrodite. She saw Aphrodite trying to give this guy a blowjob.
Gross.
In the hallway. Well, Aphrodite is the leader of the Dark Daughters, which is she's a priestess, a high priestess in training, and the Dark Daughters is student council. So they do their own rituals and stuff. Got it. So they're an elite group of students. Well, this guy obviously did not want a blowjob. He did not want a blowjob because they had just broken up, and he was like, "I'm done."
Oh. Okay.
But she was like, "No, you still want me. I know you still want me." And this girl is so up her own asshole. PMO.
She's stuck up.
But Zoe ends up after Zoe wakes up and Neferet has healed her. Her mark is filled in, and that's the sign of an adult vamp, is your mark is filled in.
Okay.
Well, everybody thinks that she's weird because she's the only Fledwing, which is the students going through the change are called Fledwings, that has a filled in mark. Well, her ex-boyfriend tries to come and break her out, Heath, and Kayla, her ex-best friend in the human world, comes to try and break her out of the House of Night, but they accidentally she accidentally cuts him without realizing it, and she imprints on him by drinking his blood, because vampires. And Matt's really uninterested right now.
Yeah.
But Zoe ends up having a very strong affinity, and she's basically almighty. She's really, really powerful, and she's basically defeats. Her purpose is to defeat a bunch of people. I'm not going to tell you what people, because it's. I was screaming in reading the second book because I'm and by the title of the book, once you get to the point where it's oh, that's why this book is titled this, you're just and you're kind of mad about it a little bit. So the second book
is Betrayed.
Got it. I'm not gonna go into detail with this one because you gotta read the first one first. So I've read Marked and Betrayed. they both took me about 8 hours each. But I like to read these when I donate plasma because they're hardcover.
Valid.
I haven't started the third one, which is Chosen. The Chosen. So I haven't started the third one yet. But that's the series I'm reading right now. Okay, your turn.
Okay. Another series that I read or like basically just finished was What If It's Us? It's about a gay couple. Again, we get the gay. So it's about this couple.
I'll read the straight smut, and Matt will read the gay smut.
I refuse to read straight smut. I'm just gonna read the synopsis for you.
There's a little tiny bit of smut in this. In the second one.
I don't like vampire books.
I'm telling the people.
Oh, okay.
The second one has a little bit.
So it's about Arthur and Ben. Arthur is only in New York for the summer, but if Broadway has taught him anything, it is the universe can deliver a show-stopping romance when you least expect it.
Wait, he's on Broadway?
No, he's a theater nerd.
Oh. Awesome, I love that.
Okay. Ben thinks the universe needs to mind its business. If the universe had his back, he wouldn't be on his way to the post office carrying a box of his ex-boyfriend's things. But when Arthur and Ben meet cute at the post office, what exactly does the universe have in store for them? Maybe nothing after all. They get separated, maybe everything after all. They get reunited. But what if they can't quite nail a first date, or a second first date, or a third first date? What if Arthur tries to take too hard to make it work and Ben doesn't try hard enough? What if life really isn't like a Broadway show? But what if it is?
That sounds so good, actually.
Yeah, so Arthur is.
And you have 2 books on the series?
It's a 2-book series.
Oh, that sounds so good.
So the first book is about them meeting for the first time and like becoming boyfriends for 3 weeks, because after 3 weeks Arthur has to leave and Ben doesn't want to do long distance. They stay friends, yada yada yada.
That's good.
And then the second book is Arthur is back in New York. It says that in the synopsis, so I can disclose that without spoiling. Arthur is back in New York. He reunites with Ben, and then a bunch of stuff happens.
It sounds like, well, smut one, and like
it's not smut. There's no smut in these 2 books.
Oh really? So it's really just fluff.
It's just fluff.
I love a breakup. I love breaking up, like when you're like reading so much smut and you're like, okay, I need to get I know it's like it's sexy and everything, but like I need something fluffy and cute.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
That's what both of these books are.
Really fluffy and cute.
Yeah.
Compared to like Heated Rivalry, which is really sex.
Yeah, it's basically just that. And then so the second book is Here's to Us, and judging by the title, you can figure out what is going on.
Wait, rewind.
So the first book is What If It Is Us?
Okay.
And the second book is Here's to Us, and it's 2 years after What If It's Us?
Okay. That sounds good.
He's back in New York. I'm just gonna go really quick with my last book because I barely started it. So I'm just gonna read the synopsis and then you can do your last 2.
Okay.
After moving back into his hometown 10 years ago, Riley Tuck thought that he had left his major league hockey career and his broken heart far behind. But when an unexpected tragedy strikes, it brings an ex-teammate and former best friend with benefits, Adam Shepard, back into his life. Coming to the small town of Avery River, Nova Scotia, might have been a mistake. Adam's not sure he'll ever win back Riley's trust after the way they left things, and the attention he's getting as a huge hockey star isn't exactly helping, yet the chemistry that crackles between them is undeniable, even now. As Adam helps Riley navigate his grief, long buried feelings start to resurface, but they'll have to square off with their complicated past if they're going to have a real shot at a new beginning. Oh my god.
And what's that?
This is The Shots You Take. By Rachel Reed.
So it's a gay smut written by a woman.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All smut written by a woman is better.
I concur.
Just saying.
I concur. I 100%. I agree. I agree. So the House of Night series is written by PC and Chris and Cass. They're a mother-daughter duo.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, these are written by 2 separate authors. So one author writes one POV, the other author writes the other.
I love that!
So it's by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. Albertalli and Becky Adam Silvera. In the back, we have a bunch of books that they wrote separately. Oh, no, it's in the other one. We're going.
I love that they are writing each other's POVs. I love that. That's
so,
awesome.
Adam Silvera wrote They Both Die in the End and The First to Die at the End.
Yep. That one's really popular.
And then Becky does a bunch of collaboratives because she wrote Yes, No, Maybe So with Ashaya Saeed. I think that's how you say it. And then she wrote Kate in Waiting. And then Adam Silvera wrote Infinity Sun and Infinity Reaper.
Yes. Okay, those all sound really good. Those both. I love that they're writing each other's different one character's POV.
Yeah, they were working together to write it. When they wrote the first book, they hadn't actually met. They were just working together.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then they met after they released the first book, and there's like a huge publishing team that goes into making a book like this because it's 2 separate POVs, right? And then there's a bunch of information written by 2 different authors.
2 different style, because every author has their own style and stylistic
and
integrity.
So Arthur is like really theater focused. He's a big theater nerd. And then Ben is he's a writer. In the first book, he's writing this book called The Wicked Wizard Wars.
Okay, that's awesome.
And he wants to get it published someday. I will not spoil what happens with that.
That's really cool.
So,
actually, I love that. I'm obsessed with that.
Yes.
Create more books like that because that sounds so cool. Okay. The other 2, these 2 books I am currently reading. These top 3. So this one. No, we'll do Creep first.
I'm a creep.
Okay, so this is Creep by Iran Corrigan.
By Weezer.
No.
It's Creep by Weezer.
No, it's not a song. This is a novel, bro. Their dream, and this is a scholastic novel, so it's more of a kid's novel. But I needed something easy to read.
These are really easy.
Because this is I donate plasma twice a week, and I try to bring my book, and I try to bring my book, but when I forget my book, this is what I be reading. And when I'm donating plasma. Their dream house has become a nightmare. Olivia is curious about the people moving into 16 Alcott Place. The last family there moved out in the dead of night, and the new family, the Donahues, has no idea why. Olivia becomes fast friends with Janie O'Donoghue, so she's there at the house when the first of the letters arrives. I am the sentry of Glendon Heights. This is the letter thing. Mm-hmm. I am the sentry of Glennon Heights. Long ago, I claimed 16 Alcott Place as levy for my guardship. The walls will not tolerate your trespass. The ceilings will bleed and the windows will shatter. If you do not escape your if you don't not cease your intrusion, the rooms will soon smell of corpses. Who is the sentry, and why does the sentry want the Donahues out of the house badly enough to kill? As Olivia and Janie explore the house, they find a number of sinister secrets, and as they explore their town, they find a hidden history that the sentry wants to remain hidden forever. Another clue. You can lock the doors, you can close the windows, but you cannot keep the sentry out. So
the sentry's like a witch.
Yeah, I've only read the first 2-ish chapters, so I'm just barely getting to know the characters.
I barely read half of the first chapter of this one. Okay. I just read this one.
This one, I'm a little bit in. This one I'm on chapter 8. This one is this is my last one. This one is Carry the Dog by Stephanie Ganji, who is also the author of Next. I'm gonna read the synopsis because it's gonna better sum up what is happening. This book, I can already tell you, I'm only 8 chapters in. The mother of the narrator is fucked up as shit, okay? Faye Sager, the main character, has spent a lifetime running from her childhood. The daughter of a famous photographer, she and her brothers were the subjects of an explosive series of images in the 1960s known as the Marx Nudes. Disturbing and provocative,
Oh my god, I know
the
about this story.
the photographs showed the family long past the public outcry and media attention. Now, decades later, both the Museum of Modern Art and Hollywood have come calling, eager to cash in on Bay's mother's notoriety. Twice divorced from, but still entangled with aging rock star Gary Going, Bay lives in Manhattan with her borrowed dog Dory and sort of sister Echo. After years of avoiding her past, Bay must make a choice: let the world in and be compensated for the trauma of her childhood, or leave it all locked away in a storage unit forever. Carry the Dog sweeps readers into Bay's world as the little girl in the photographs and the woman in the mirror meet at the blurry intersection of memory and truth and vulnerability and resistance.
It's the real story.
It is?
Yeah. This mom was photographing her son, and, like, nothing was showing, but he was nude. Nothing was showing, but he was nude, and it was on the beach, and it was, like, a real thing that happened.
Oh, no. In this story, like, everything's out. Everything's out. From the time she was, like, 4 to the time she was 11.
Yeah.
It's really kind of up. Her twice divorced ex-husband Gary Going he also wants to cash in because he wants to be like the manager for it, which is up to begin with. And it's just like kind of like digging into like her mind is like really messed up. Also, so I have 2 copies of this book. The other copy is somewhere. I think it's over there. Yeah, it's over there. So I have 2 copies of this book. But I am annotating this one because my sister is going to read it and she's gonna also annotate it. And so I just want to keep adding to like annotations and like create a mini conversation inside the novel. And then it also has like a whole section of essays. An essay. And questions for discussion.
-5 minutes.
So that's what I'm reading right now. In between my little 12 plus 4, so 16 book series.
T-5 minutes.
Okay, let's shut it down then.
Yeah. You do the outro, bro.
Okay. So, those are the books we're reading, so you can kind of see like what Matt's interested in reading. I'm interested in reading pretty much anything. That's just what I'm reading right now because I am trying to get through a bunch of my physical TBR, which is basically this entire room.
Yes.
That
I am also.
So I have a full bookshelf of mysteries and thrillers and comedies and romance and all of the stuff. So
I also have some dystopian society books, some books that are set in like historic fiction.
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
I love historic
fiction. So this is just what I've been reading recently.
Yeah, that's like sometimes you're like, oh, this is my mood right now.
Yeah.
For reading. So I'm just trying to like get some standalone books in between my extremely long series, and that's probably what I'll do when I start reading Harry Potter, so I can catch up with that. Yes. So that's on my list. That's on my list. So next week we're gonna be talking about Bridget Jones's Diaries movies. So I gotta do my research on those. And yes.
We're gonna make a 10-page document.
Oh no.
And 36
No.
dice fall.
I'm okay.
Like I did.
I'm okay. So we will see you next week.
Goodbye, subjects.